coming to you live from the Black Goat 39 studios. This is the Guru Talking Sports podcast. This is a special ending, the year in sports. Now, here's your host, the Guru of Sports, and Derek B. Coming to you live from the Black Goat 39 studios. This is a special edition of the Guru Talking Sports podcast. Thank you for that. Thank you. Hello, sports fans, and welcome. Welcome to a special edition of the Guru Talking Sports podcast. This is the year in review, and this is the last show for 2020. Now, we're going to have a serious discussion with all my panel guests, and my panel guest is my co-host with the co-most, Mr. Derek Guru. Derek Guru, how are you?
Thank you. Pleasure to be here, my man. A little bit of that hangover from Christmas, dinner. Hope everybody doing good. Thank you.
And also, we have in the house the board op, executive producer, and we are glad to have him back for the last show of this year, Mr. Caden Guru. Mr. Caden Guru, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you guys?
Great. Happy New Year to you. Thank you.
He who shall remain nameless.
All right. Now, like I said, this is a special edition. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about the year in sports, and it's been a lot of tops, turns, ups, downs, and you know how 2020 has been. So, more or less, I'm not going to go into the normal routine of the Guru Talking Sports podcast. Today is a special day because what we're going to do is we're going to get the opinions, and we're going to talk to Caden and Derek. Dante Guru was in here last week, and I know that that fool, the Guru Claus, was in here last week, and Goldie gave me a report and said that he was okay until the end, where he had to get out of here because I didn't promise him anything. I didn't promise him a '73 Cadillac. I don't know where he's talking about, but anyway, I just want to say to my guys, I really appreciate you guys. This is the last show of the year. And one thing, the biggest thing I want to ask you guys before, when we get into it, what is the biggest takeaway from this year in sports do you guys feel as though affected you? First of all, Derek, I want to ask you this question. How do you feel about this year in sports?
Sports-wise, I don't know. It ain't never been nothing like this before. I mean, you got a basketball season that was like about a year long. Then turn around a couple months later, 70 some days later, you're restarting again. You got NCAA still trying to figure out the March Madness from last year, and it's. I mean, one thing I learned about all this is, at the end of the day, you can make things happen, but you can't defeat nature.
Yeah.
You really can't defeat nature. And by nature, I mean this virus. You can wear a mask, you can wash your hands, you can wear gloves, you can stay 6 feet. You can do all these things. But as we've been seeing in sports, you have one person that can just ruin it all. James Harden out here partying. You got Dwayne Haskins out here partying. So it's just a lot of at the end of the day, you just got to realize, you know what, I gotta take care of myself, and I got to make sure that me and my family is taken care of. But you also have to make sure you're checking on your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your neighbors, stuff like that. So, I mean, if anything, it's our people, there's a way to get out of this, but it's going to take everybody doing it, i.e. the basketball, what they did with the bubble. You see, the first couple of weeks you had a couple issues, but from then on it was good. So, I mean, if people just do what you got to do, then I'm not saying this thing going to disappear, but it'll be a heck of a lot better, you know what I mean?
Okay. Caden, how about you? What do you think about your basketball season? I mean, you play intramural basketball and everything. How do you feel about not having a year to play intramural basketball?
Well, I understand, the situation, and, they don't want us to, go into, our school, especially with, such high numbers in my community and stuff. But, yeah, it's impacted me, a lot, especially with, school and other stuff like that.
So they cancel y'all season?
Yeah, they canceled our season.
Hey.
Yeah. Now, I wanted to ask you this. Do you guys remember what happened on March 11th of this year?
I remember I was in school.
That's Kobe, right?
Just when
when they shut this. Oh, that's right.
That was the day that everything basically shut down.
Mark Cuban got that phone call. That's the one thing I think anybody will always remember. Mark Cuban's face looking when he was on the court, and he got that text that said the season's been canceled. And he was like, "What?" That's the image that sticks in my head.
One of the images that sticks in my head is when they told us that Rudy Gobert tested positive for the coronavirus, and then Donovan Mitchell also tested positive. So, I mean, that means that, you had two guys from the Utah Jazz, and I think they were supposed to be playing the Orlando Magic or something like that, but they canceled that game, and after that, every sports league everything started to, just go down. Everybody was in a panic. Now, talking about not having sports for about maybe 3 to 4 months after that, that was just one of the worst things because, you had March Madness that was supposed to start, and you had the baseball season. The baseball season couldn't start, and they had to delay. The NBA had to shut down their season. NHL shut down their season. MLS, everything. So how do you guys feel about having football games, basketball games, baseball games, and hockey games on the same day? That happened in August or so.
There's two things that happen like that. You have, like you said, the baseball, basketball, football play at once, and then as of today, for the first time ever in the NFL season, there's been a football game played every day of the week. Yeah. All 7 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. And that was remarkable because I'd never seen a Friday football game. Never in my life.
I ain't never seen a Tuesday afternoon.
I never seen a Tuesday. No.
Wednesday. I'm sorry. Wednesday.
Yeah. Wednesday as well.
Game. And Friday is usually when all the high school teams play.
Right. Yeah. That's when you get the the West Coast games. Not no more.
Another thing is that you figure Christmas came on a Friday, which is kind of like I mean, we have it on. Everybody knows that
weird.
Christmas is on a Friday, but it do seem like a Sunday today. But it's kind of nice to have that extra day off. But I wanted to ask you guys about Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman, how do you think that his recovery and what he went through made it back from COVID to win the National League MVP? What do you think about that? I thought that was pretty remarkable. That's one of the good stories. Right? Yeah, one of the good stories that came out of this year.
What you think, Hayden?
I think it was pretty inspiring on how he just like defeated all the odds of this year with like COVID, and then just coming back, and it's pretty inspiring and remarkable.
Now, I was watching this special on ESPN about heroes and all the things that went on this year as well, and that was like one of the most inspiring things. If you guys had to take and find a athlete through this year that inspired you, or who is like one of the most inspirational athletes of this year? Anybody?
I got one that just sticks out just sticks out.
Who's that?
Carl Anthony Towns.
Carl
Minnesota
Anthony Towns.
Timberwolves.
Yeah.
This man has had his mom and his dad in his life in basketball, following him up and down the road, traveling, all this. And then I think it was first his dad got it, and then his mom contracted it, and then he had like an aunt, an uncle, a cut. It literally like ran through his, like, I think he said in total he lost about 13 people.
Wow.
But that man lost his mother in the first game of the year. You can see it. He couldn't even get up off the bench when they were doing the opening, when they were announcing all the players.
Yeah.
Because this is the first time, and this man's 21, and he's only 21 years old. He's not 30. He's not 40. He's 21. Now, this man went from being the kid, the happy-go-lucky big cat, everybody see him, he was always laughing, always smiling. Now this man has been thrust into the forefront. He has to lead his family. So, I mean, it just goes to show, you can have millions of dollars, you can have $1 in your pocket, it don't matter. But just to see him in that first game, and to see how hurt he was, and to see the emotion he played with, and to give him the basketball, and after the game he told me, I'm never going to be that same person. And that's real, like you said, I'm never going to be that person I was before, and this thing changes you, it changes you. I have a friend of mine, she works at a hospital, and she had mentioned the other day that, her taste buds were acting kind of weird, and some other things, I'm like, go get tested, what I'm saying, and you just got to remember, like, I work in the food industry. I mean, you got to think about people. You got to think about these people in the fast food restaurant and the drive-thru. They've been working through all this. You got to think about the mailman, the mailwoman. They've been working through all this. People at the Jiffy Lubes, and the Jiffy Marts and the 7-Elevens. Everybody talk about the doctors and lawyers. I'm not putting them down. I'm not trying to make it seem like they're not, any less. But you got to think about these everyday people. The people at 7-Eleven, the people at the gas stations. These people, they can't stay home.
Yeah,
you can't virtually work from home from a gas station.
Exactly. Delivery people. I work in the trucking industry, and it's very.
We get a truck twice a week.
Yeah.
Twice a week. If I don't see that same guy, I get nervous.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
How many times, recently, when you've been out and about and you see somebody sneeze and you see everybody in the room go?
Yeah. Everybody has a look.
I was standing in line the other day and somebody was, too close to me. I looked at him like, back up. Yeah. It's like you didn't think about these things before, but
But
that's my inspiration right there, man.
But it's funny because, like, I'm not the type of person that, this. I understand what this situation is. I keep myself protected and all. But It seems like when you walk by somebody, they give you the look like, oh my God, just don't, and I'm like, come on now. I mean, I understand what the situation is, but you don't have to really take it to the extreme. But the thing is that if you got your mask on and you're doing what you're supposed to do, you wash your hands, give me a break. I mean, don't act like, people are poison. I mean, but, I think it's a little bit of nervousness.
My military instincts kicked in.
I know, but mine too, but I think it's a little bit of nervousness about this disease and this virus that's causing people to act this way in a way.
Because we didn't have the proper information.
Exactly. Now, Caden, who do you think would be your most inspirational person of this year?
I have two people. I have Alex Smith and Andy Dalton because Andy Dalton, he got a concussion, I think, when they versed the Reds, the Washington football team, and he was battling COVID like straight after, so he had to.
Right.
He battled two like major. He battled with COVID and he couldn't like taste or smell anything.
Yep.
And then having concussion topped off like all of it.
And then having concussion on top of it.
Yeah.
And you said Alex Smith as well, right?
Yeah, with Alex Smith, he had the same injury as Joe Osmond.
17 surgeries, something like that, I think it is.
Yeah. For him to just be walking again is just remarkable.
Yeah.
To have a leg still.
But to play football again, like.
Well, I think he's gonna win the comeback player of the year, definitely. Mine would be Sarah Fuller. Sarah Fuller.
Vanderbilt kicker.
I feel as though that she has to be recognized as probably one of the most inspirational people because of all this stuff that went on. She went out there and she basically, made history. And I'm very proud to say that, you know what, if the game of football needed something to give an inspiration to, or this year needed something for an inspiration, for a woman to go out there and kick field goals and extra points for a major college team, and kickoffs. And I think it's just a really good, inspiring story for this year. I mean, we needed something really, really good to happen this year. And I think this is probably one of the best stories. My other one was Amanda Nunez. She's a female MMAer, and she's awesome. I can't say I could say a lot about her, but the only thing I can say is that she's a fighter, and she's just pound for pound one of the best in the MMA, and I really like her.
I forgot one more person, and this man saved it for the whole sports world. Adam Silver. Silver, the NBA.
Creating the bubble was like the main thing.
I'm gonna tell you like this. This man, he has not wavered. He's kept the same demeanor. He's kept the same tone. The man, he's went about this on a total. He gave the players the respect to say, look, you do what you want, do what you feel is best. This is the first time in any professional sports where I can think of where the commissioner was like, look, I'm behind you players 100%. If y'all don't want to play today, Milwaukee, no problem. I got you. Y'all don't want to play today because another incident happened in the community that they weren't even seeing or hearing about. You know what I mean? Because they were in a bubble, yo. Like, you got to remember that you had these pro athletes basically back to AAU. Like a weekend tournament to turn into a 3-month tournament. Yeah. Staying in a hotel. Now, because I was like, if you look at the backup, man, they had almost 2,000 people cooking for these guys. 2,000. And then everybody had to be separated. Certain people couldn't cross this line, couldn't go across there. So I give it to Adam Silver because he was the first one that got sports back in, and he's done it. I think he's done it in a manner that's very commendable. And I think he definitely deserves praise for everything he's done, thus far in leading the NBA.
Well, Adam Silver is the best commissioner in the 4 major sports. I really like Adam Silver. I like Gary Bettman. Gary Bettman is okay for the NHL.
Silver doesn't take the owner side. He doesn't take the player side. He's just right down the middle.
The worst is Roger Goodell. And, I really think that the baseball commissioner was a good guy, Fred Manfred, but now he don't know what he's doing, basically. All right.
That man's a lawyer.
Yeah, he is. I think he's a lawyer. Well, biggest disappointment in sports this year. What do you guys think?
What you got, Kate?
Clippers, obviously.
Who?
Clippers, obviously.
Clippers. All right, Clippers. I'll say Sixers.
Nah, they lost to the Nuggets, and they were projected to meet the Lakers Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. Like everybody was like hyping that around, but they didn't even get to. They got knocked down in the divisional, I think.
Nuggets.
Nuggets, you say?
The Nuggets knocked them off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. The biggest disappointment to me had to be probably the Washington Nationals. I thought they would come back and defend their title, but they didn't. Atlanta took over that division and won that division handily. I mean, that was no problem. Washington didn't do as good as I thought they would do. But I got to give it up for the Dodgers. The Dodgers won the World Series, which they earned. And believe me, they earned it because of the last couple of times when they were in the World Series. They got cheated by Boston. They got cheated by Houston. So I got to give it up for one of the things I really liked about this year in sports is that, for the first time, this is the first time that Los Angeles won basketball and baseball in the same year. The last time that happened, I was out in Los Angeles when they won it, and I was able to, go into, see both parades. But, I'm just so mad that I didn't get a chance to see both parades this year. Best champion this year. Who do you think was the best champion this year?
Man, of course, it got to be the Lake Show, man. I mean, it's got to be Bron, and AD and the whole the narratives, the themes, and it's it just didn't get much better than that. I mean, I did, when Kershaw won, just the look on his face to finally win, like, wow, I finally actually did it,
Yeah.
But I think the way the Lakers came in, LeBron he's the head of the league. He's sitting at the head of the table for this league, and he went in. And I think if LeBron had went in and he'd have wavered in any kind of way, I ain't liking this. And I think he took a real professional approach to it and said, I'm just going to make the best of this. Because I think if LeBron would have been whimpering or he'd have been any kind of, I think that whole thing would have fell through. So I think they are the best story for this year.
All right, best champion. Who do you think, Kaden?
I say the Chiefs, honestly. The Chiefs won. So they won against the Niners in February because they haven't won a Super Bowl since the first Super Bowl, honestly.
Well, actually, Super Bowl IV. They won Super Bowl IV in 1970, and that was the 1969-70 season. They won that one. I think the best champion has to be the Los Angeles Lakers because of the inspiration they had from the death of Kobe. And that, like I said, that propelled them to the championship. And to tell you the truth, I don't think that there should be no asterisk behind any of this because this was the most difficult way to win championships. No matter how you put it, hockey had a bubble. Basketball had a bubble, and believe me, I got to give Tampa Bay Lightning the credit they deserve, they earned too. I don't like to say the word deserve because, they only say deserve. You only deserve two things in life, an ass kicking and something else, But you earn your respect through championships, but. I do give Tampa Bay that championship. They earned it. Believe me, they earned it. The Lakers earned it. The Chiefs earned it. And believe me, I'm not a big Chiefs fan, but I look at it this way: they did earn it because they had to go through New England, and they finally got through New England to get there. And it's just like years in past when Chicago winning the championship, they had to beat Boston. They had to knock off Boston all the time. So, in that respect, I got to give it up for them. Those champions, all these champions that won this year really earned it. They really earned it. Is there any topics that you guys want to talk about?
I got one.
All right, go ahead.
And this really it really peeved me off. It pissed me off. Like, I understand this whole COVID thing, but it's just like this COVID thing just totally overshadowed Kobe's death, yo. That Kobe's gone, yo. Like, I still sit there like every at least once a week, and I'll see a picture. I'll see him and Gigi. I'll see I'll see something. It's just like damn, yo, like he didn't get his proper send off. He didn't get, like it just was overshadowed by it. It was like all of a sudden, boom, it was like Kobe had passed, and like that was the big thing going, and all of a sudden Kobe just took over and just, but like I said, that's the one thing I hate about this whole COVID, this whole COVID thing. It's just like it's been taken so many, people, put so many people through so much, but. This year, man. I mean, we done lost a lot of people, and not to say anybody's any better, or any less than the other, but man, that hurt. I mean, when COVID, that hurt me to my core, man. I mean, like I'm a grown man, and I was just crying, like, I can't believe this. This is, like LaVoy, that's like the Michael Jordan, that's like Michael Jordan to you,
Yeah.
It's every, like Hayden, that's LeBron to we got three different, genres here. You got Michael genre, you got the Kobe genre, you got LeBron, and I mean, like to take Kobe, it was just like out of everybody, Kobe.
But the crazy thing about it is LeBron just passed Kobe on like the
right.
Right
the night before, and they had just called him before he left the house, before he got on the plane to come back, because they were going to get together.
I'll always remember the 25th of January, and I know that Dad's birthday is like 2 days after that, but it was, the first time, when I usually listen to watch the Jim Rome show, and I still couldn't. I to this day I have it on DVR, but I can't watch it because I know how everybody felt and how everybody responded to the news of his passing. It was just so unreal.
My lady told me about it. My lady's not even a sports person. She's just like, babe, Kobe. And like she broke down. Like, people that weren't even sports fans. Forget basketball, just sports fans. Kobe's known around the world. You're talking about China. That was just crazy, yo.
Now, like I said, we was talking about Kobe. Now, I hate to say this, but we lost two people in the last couple of days. And Hall of Fame coach and player Casey Jones passed away yesterday on Christmas Day. And that was a shock, and it kind of hit me because it's like, Casey Jones, I always remember him as being, on the bench trying to get Boston riled up to beat the Lakers, and, that really hit.
Him and DJ was always talking.
That was it, yeah. Also, we lost Kevin Green. Kevin Green, me and him are the same age. And that really hit home because I really, really, really like Kevin Green, and he was always, from what I've heard, always a great guy to talk to, always available, and just wasn't really big on celebrity. He was just big on just being a person, just a regular guy.
He had a nice little run in WCW. Too.
Yeah, he was also a wrestler, and it's like most of the time. I think the two deaths that really hit me the hardest was Kobe and Tiny Lester. Tiny Lester was, like I said, I met Tiny Lester a couple of times, and that was really, really shocking to me. Another thing was that if you take a look at baseball, we lost Tom Seaver, Whitey Ford, Lou Brock, Dick Allen, Joe Morgan. I mean, that's just at least 5 right there that I can think of.
For football, we lost Bart Starr is a big one that we lost from the Packers.
Kevin Green, we just lost him.
Green. We lost
Floyd Little, and there's a whole bunch of them.
the running back from the Bengals that we lost.
Oh man, the Ravens lost Teleferio. I'm sorry if I pronounced his name wrong. Teleferio.
Oh, he passed?
28. Yeah, he passed a couple days ago.
Oh my gosh! See, that's the thing.
He was only 28 years old. I'm sorry, I keep pronouncing his name wrong. But it was like Teleferio.
Yeah, from Penn
like
State. Yeah.
28.
Yeah,
he
I remember him.
over the weekend.
It's a mess.
Cedric Benson from the Bengals.
Cedric Benson, that's
Cedric
right.
Benson, yep.
Yeah. I remember him from the Bears too. Yeah. There was a lot of guys that we lost this year, and like I told you guys, this is one of the things that I really emphasize to everybody out there is that we all have to do better to try to make every single day worthwhile and be able to enjoy every single day. You know, like you said, we talk to people and we want to make sure that people are okay. You know, all the social distancing things that we have to do, wash your hands, wear your mask, all that stuff. You know, and most of these people that pass away are COVID related. And it's just, it's sickening. I mean, like I said, we had a really, really tough year. But the thing about it is that we
can't let it get to you, man.
It can, but the thing about it is that we have to do better. We definitely have to do better. And we have to look on the bright side. But like I said, I really appreciate the situation with, you know, being able just to talk to people and respond to people. And, you know, this podcast is basically a thing of where we can't really talk to each other in person, face to face, but I want to be able to get my point across and talk to you guys and let you guys hear something that is really enjoyable and something that'll make you laugh all during the year.
Look at it like this, man. Like I get people to tell me all the time, like guys I play with, you know, online on Xbox. I got a homeboy, Dro, out in Colorado. You know, he'll text me, hey, co-host with the co-most. I'll be at work and they were like, yo, D, I'm like, what's up? I'm like, hey, did y'all record last night? Yeah, go ahead and play. You know, and it's funny because, like you said, you know, through this whole COVID thing, you start to realize people gravitate towards each other that haven't gravitated towards each other in a while. You know, you get to know a cousin that you didn't know before because, you know, they live around the corner. And just like with me and Brody up here, man, Big Bro. I mean, we talk, but now, this is like an every Saturday thing for us. You know, we get together. I know, well, I'm gonna talk to my brother. I'm gonna see, you know, I always know I'm gonna see my brother. I'm gonna see one of my two nephews. One of them usually he shall remain unnameless. But you know, we always get, you know, we get that, then we get pop, and then, you know what I'm saying. But it's just like, even though this all happened, it you know, you got to look at the positives, you know, because of course there's all the negatives, you know. So, but if you look at the positives, I look at it like this: I'm like, man, I got closer with my brother. You know, we done got a podcast going. You know, I done joined up with him and having fun, just kicking it and doing what we always do. You know, this is what we do, people. I mean, of course it's a little bit more formal, but yeah, this is what we do. We get together Christmas, we get together Thanksgiving, we get together birthdays. You know, we ever get together. This is what me and my brothers, you know, this is what we do. We just sit around and talk. And, you know, hopefully one of these days Pop gonna get on here because Pop is the originator of all this with all of us, you know. So, but I mean, you know, like I say, you got to take the good. You got to take the good with the bad. Yeah, there's a lot of bad things that happen about this, but you know what? People also learned about themselves through this. You know what I'm saying? People found out they were artistic. They might have picked up an instrument. They might have painted something. They might have drew something. You know, people finding different things about themselves they didn't know. You know, divorce rate. Yeah, I mean, the divorce rate is up, but you know, that's what it is. You know,
but you know,
you got to take the good and the bad.
One of the things I learned. And like yesterday was a very, very good example. Being alone on Christmas is really, it's okay. I mean, it's not really great, but it was okay. It was nice to just have a quiet house, and like I said, me and the wife didn't do anything. We just basically hung around, and I told her, I said, you don't have to cook anything. I'll find something to eat. And the thing about it is that I miss being with my sons, and that's one of the things. That's why I wanted you, Caden, to come on here today because, like I said, I missed you. I missed you very much, and it's been hard to do this podcast without you because I'm trying to run the boards and everything,
His
and
right
then
hand, his right hand man, yo.
yeah,
His
and
right hand, man.
but I'm glad that we did get a chance to come together for this final podcast of the year and let everyone know that we really, really appreciate you guys for listening, and we really thank you for all the comments and comments,
One of these
thoughts,
days, we're gonna
and
get
everything.
all of us. We're gonna get a Dante guru and Caden guru and Guru himself and the co-host with the co-host, and we're gonna get all of us.
We're going to get everybody together pretty soon. I'm going to wrap this up right now. Do you guys have any final comments before I go through the particulars, and then we're going to sign off with something that Goody said he's going to play for us. So you got anything, Derek B? Last thoughts?
Oh man, I always got something to say. Hey, go Ravens tomorrow. I know we ain't do no picks, but we're gonna win tomorrow. Everybody in the AFC, Miami, just go ahead and lose. So everybody, all y'all AFC teams to lose. My Ravens need to get in the playoffs. I'm off for the first Sunday of the football season. I don't have to work. I'm glad to be here. I love you, bro. I love you, nephew. Keep the energy. We're going to keep going. It's the year end, but we're going to come back. We're going to be bigger. We're going to be better. We're going to be awesome. That's what we do, man. Love y'all, man.
All right. Love you, too. Caden, what do you got? You got anything for us?
Just have good energy coming into 2021, fly, Eagles, fly.
Oh, gosh.
Jalen Hurts is the future.
He redeemed himself.
Yeah, he did redeem himself. All right, well, I got to say, lose out Jacksonville. We want that number one pick. Tell you the truth, I need the Raiders to really actually lose today because Miami's defense have got to get me some points. I'm in a little bit of hole because James Robinson of the Jaguars is out tomorrow, and I have to scuffle around and try to play somebody. I've been trying to get in touch with my buddy on Instagram for some information, but he hasn't came through yet. Hopefully it'll come through for me tomorrow. I appreciate you guys coming in here, but before I leave, I got to get through the show particulars and everything. But I just wanted to say that this has been a very, very, very good roundtable discussion. And most of the time, I really like to have roundtable discussions and conversations. And most of the time, I don't do interviews. I don't do interviews with people. I like to have conversations, and which is something that is really what we really exactly what we really needed was a conversation. And I think this year-ending conversation about things that went on this year and who we lost, and it makes a big difference because, like I said, we never seen a year like this. And I'm still very, very worried about Caden Guru and, his grades and everything because I know he wants to go back to school. And like I said, hopefully, January 11th, you will get that chance. You'll get that chance on January 11th. And I just, safely can get back to school. I'm going to wrap it up now with the particulars. I got to say thank you for listening. And you can follow us on all the social media platforms. YouTube, we're at the Guru of Sports Show on YouTube. Facebook, we're on Guru's Daily Shorts. Instagram, we got two of them now. We got the Guru OS 39 and we got Guru's Kids DAE, which is Daisy, Alex, and Ellie. Gmail is Guru's Daily Shorts at gmail.com. Twitter, I'm at Goat39 on Twitter. Goaty, he's at BlackGoat39 on Twitter. Find us on the social media or on the formats for wherever you find your podcast. We're on Spreaker, which is the main vessel that brings us here. Podchasers, Spotify, Podcast App, Deezer, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addicts, Cashbox, iHeartRadio, Apple iTunes is a big one, JioSaavn, Podomatics. We are all over your podcast, wherever you need podcasts. That's it. Also, we got to give big shouts and big props to Mr. Jeff Duarte, the head cheese over at Cali Sports News. I've been very bad, and I apologize. Believe me, don't hate me for it, but I'm going to write something this week for sure. Damian Adams, The Real Deal with Damian Adams podcast. You got to listen to it. It's really, really good. My hip-hop guys, I got to give a shout-out to Mr. Danny Revere. He'll be in here pretty soon. We got to have a conversation with him. Reggie Reg, King Charlie Prince, my man Positive K, Jeff Shepard, my main man Jeff Shepard. He's really funny. You got to watch his stuff. Happy, the original pioneer, and the main man, Cool Kyle Star Child, the original Star Child. We appreciate you, and I'll be talking to you soon. We got some stuff to work on. Thank Caden Guru, our executive producer and board op. Mr. Vinny V, we appreciate you, executive technical advisor. Ray Guru is the music engineer and director. We appreciate you. Dante Guru, co-host to the co-host to the co-host. Derek Guru is the co-host with the co-most. We appreciate you. And this has been a Black Goat production for Black Goat Entertainment. All rights reserved 2020. We don't steal from nobody. We always want to tell you that we're freeway close. We're always on, and we really appreciate you listening to this podcast. For me, the Guru, and everyone for this podcast, we want to say we are glad that we're almost out of this mess of a year of 2020. And I want to say thank you guys for listening, and hopefully 2021 will bring us something beautiful.
It will be. Speaking into existence, it will be.
We
There's
will.
no hopefully.
We
It
will
be.
We will be
It's going to.
definitely, and we will definitely.
2021, we coming for you.
We will be back next week with the brand new first of the year podcast. 2021. We'll be back, and we appreciate you. All right, Goody, he has something for us to play for the last time. This is the old Guy Lombardo song. You really want to play that, Goody? All right.
Get him, Goody!
Guy Lombardo, Old Lang Syne. For me, Derek B. and Caden Guru, you guys want to say anything? One last thing before we go. We got about a minute go.
Love you. Have fun. Be prosperous in the new year. Like you said, nephew said, bring that good energy in.
That's
Don't
it.
bring that half energy in.
All right.
Be positive.
All right. Here's Old Lang Syne. Thank you guys. And the Guru, when we will see you real soon. Later.
Word up.